Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Estate with Ryan. Excited to be with you on this amazing Labor Day weekend. And thank you for tuning in for Real Estate with Ryan. We've got a great show for you. And you know it's a busy Saturday. It's a great Saturday. Go Vols. It's our first home game away in Atlanta, playing Syracuse. So big time. Football time is officially back in East Tennessee, and it's go time for the real estate housing market. It's go time. It definitely is. I think interest rates are right around the corner making adjustments. We've seen those adjustments a couple weeks ago, and so is it going to be go time for us on the rest of the year? I think so. We know the housing inventory has increased some, and we'll cover a lot of different topics today. I think you'll enjoy our show. We're going to talk about why everybody's getting wrong with the rise of inventory in the housing market. What to look out for, what to check for. Maybe you're right, maybe you're wrong. We're going to cover that. And we're going to talk about history always rebounds in the housing market. And we'll talk a little bit about that and what to expect as we move forward a little bit. And then I've got a great second half segment. The big, beautiful bill. You maybe heard our president talk about that bill. How does it affect you? How does it affect East Tennessee? Homeowners, investors. Well, we're going to talk about that tax bill and how there's great savings that you can take advantage of, depreciation, and how you can save some money on your next purchase that may be this year. And we're going to see that effect come into the end of 2025. So we're talking about big, beautiful tax bill, how will it affect you, and how you can apply it to your real estate purchase this year if you do so. So hope you enjoy the show. And thank you again for tuning in. If you're tuning in for the first time, you can always catch Real Estate with Ryan every Saturday, Talk Radio 92.3 FM at 11 a.m. Of course, we're always streaming on their Facebook channel, so you can always tune in there. And then, of course, our great partners at News Talk 98.7, 1 o'clock. You can always catch us there live. So, and, of course, you catch us on the apps, Facebook, you name it, X, Instagram, Spotify, all the podcasts. We're always there in case you're busy maybe watching the Vols. It's okay. You can replay Real Estate with Ryan. We're there for a replay. As always, let's get into that before we get going too far into the show. Always got some new congrats, new listings. Been a busy week. Congratulations to one of our great sellers. I don't know if it did make the list of our pendings, but congrats to our great pendings on 848 Dorset Drive in Knoxville, going under contract. 4130 Trow Way in Gatlinburg for the second time, right? Second time going under contract with these great buyers. I think it's a great fit for them. New listing, luxury listing, waterfront, Mallard Bay Cove. Make sure you check it out. 4.8 million waterfront, almost 10,000 square feet. Make sure you check this property. It's coming soon this weekend. You'll check it out on Zillow or Realtor.com or any websites, or you can go to ryancoleman.org and check it out. Beautiful property. Sold it to him several years ago. They hate to leave, but it's your great opportunity. Mallard Bay waterfront, one of the prettiest homes in the subdivision. Make sure you check that out. Congrats to our great closings. Land over there in Green Hill Road, great seller, builder, developer, got that done for them. And then I can't speak enough about this closing, 2233 Nations Road in Newport, luxury property, 90-some acres. This kind of tells the story of the whole year. You know, we had a couple properties we talked about last radio show where it didn't sell the first time or something happened or it was an inspection or something's going on, but we were able to get this done for the third time. Third time was the charm. And got it closed to some great buyers that closed rapidly. Closed in a couple weeks. You know, and so you say, well, Ryan, what happened? I don't know. It seems like a lot of things in today's market, there's no one answer. I had a great client that chatted with me, and I don't want to get too far off this subject because I want to get into our show, but you say, why are these deals falling through? And we talked about that last week. There's just a combination of reasons. Home sales are probably one of the biggest contingency that we're seeing. You know, we had one that there was a contingency in a home sale, and these clients really wanted this property. But it was a contingency that wasn't even on the market or wasn't selling. So the seller was very hesitant about taking it. These were different, some home sale contingencies, but we're able to get it done. So super congrats to Mr. Craig, a great seller and loyal client there, and we really were excited for him and his wife to get this done. So those are our congrats for the week. Very busy, a lot going on. As you guys know, always, right? Big game today. And then next week is our first home game. We'll talk more about that, but if you're tuning in the first half, follow all of our social channels. We've got some great commercials coming up. Won't tell you who yet. Can't tell you what that's going to be, but it's going to be exciting commercials. We got some swag coming, some autographed gear. But most importantly, you guys want to get to the game. We want to see you at the game. Hometown Realty is going to send 2 people each time, so that's 4 total guests, parking pass included. All you got to do is like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and you're in it to win it. We'll pick them probably Wednesday or Thursday of next week, and so we love to send you. All you got to do is like, share, and subscribe, and we're going to send you every home game. Hometown Realty's got you covered. It should be an amazing time. Home game, ETSU, and we're kicking off at 3:30 on Saturday next week, so hard to believe we're back at it. All right, let's get into real estate. You know, it's hard, man. It's football time. It's in the air. It's Vol Nation. It's here. Everybody's ready for it. So a lot of things going on, and we're just excited to be part of it, be into it. And I know you guys are back watching the game. It's exciting. My father-in-law said the other day, "Where are you going to be on Saturday?" So I might be on the beach. Father said he'd be glued to the TV. Saturday's going to be a great day watching football. I can kind of agree. Let's talk about why everybody's getting the housing market wrong with the rise in inventory. The rise in inventory. You may have seen that the talk online and new homes inventory is the highest level that we've seen since the crash. And if you've lived through the crash, who hasn't been through that, now you're seeing construction is up and may feel a little scary. I think that that's safe to say across the board. We have sellers a little bit more nervous. Buyers are cautious. But here's the things you need to remember. Seeing online is designed to get clicks and not necessarily the full story. Closer look at the data, and a little expert's opinion will say perspective has completely changed. It isn't like 2008, right? The market's hit its highest level since that crash, and there's not a reason to worry. That's because builds are just one piece of the puzzle. They don't tell the whole story of what's happening. I agree with that. We do know some builders have some inventory and some homes that are not on the market. Get the picture of how the inventory is really looking compared to new homes versus last year. And I think this was a good data point. Total inventory remains far below crash levels. So you look back at 2008, not going to be able to see this graph, but it gives you some information on the inventory. It just wasn't the same surplus as what we have last year or during that crash in 2008. And then builders aren't overbuilding. They're catching up. Good numbers. Basically, we've had 15 straight years of underbuilding, and we're only recently starting to slowly climb out of that hole. But there's a long ways to go. So I thought that that was beneficial. And each market's going to vary. I mean, I think that that's really key, is each market's going to vary. The Florida market is totally different than the Knoxville housing market. So those are things to keep up. You know, history has a history of a rebound, right? History shows a strong market of the housing market. You know, we really are encouraged, but if you're buying or selling real estate, we say real estate is a strong investment. You know, of course, it has its ups and downs, but history shows that the housing market always has a rebound. Obviously, things are slowing down. Homeowners haven't got the price that they're wanting, right? Things are changing. Increasingly, more people are pulling their homes off the market. According to the last data through Realtor.com, number of homeowners who are taking their home off the market is up 38% since the start of this year. 48% of the same time last June. For every 100 new listings in June, there were 21 homes were taken off the market. And I think you see that, right? There's hesitation. There's frustration. I had a great client that we were talking with a little bit yesterday. And that conversation was, you know, where expectations were and then kind of where the market is. But I think a lot of things that goes in cycles. Affordability, one of the biggest things we were chatting with a great client out in Tellico, is the number one factor that's driving everything. But also with the affordability comes the interest rates, right? And so if some of that changes, we're going to see contracts pin. Last 2 weeks, which was very, very beneficial, you're seeing our office 7 or 8 contracts under contract. Right? Homes go under contract. Some of these are in excess of $1 million. So that's good to see. And if you know the same choice, some people get frustrated. Didn't go the way, and it's hard. You know, I know it is hard. You feel like the market isn't working with you, very frustrated. I think a nice younger gentleman I was chatting with yesterday, we were talking about that his grandson is coming out of an apprentice and getting into the market today. as a young homeowner enter the market is almost impossible. You know, what was possible several years ago is not there. So it's very hard for our first-time buyers entering the market. But history repeats itself, proof from the past. You know, it isn't the first time the housing market has experienced a slowdown, and obviously it has come back over the period. Look, we're closing down here in the second half of Real Estate with Ryan. Make sure you stay with us. We're talking about the big, beautiful tax bill. We'll be right back.
Knoxville and East Tennessee. The region is known for its rolling hills, rivers, and lakes. There's no better place to work, live, or raise a family. Home is where your story begins. Buying or selling your home is a big decision, and you need a real estate team you can trust.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty, your hometown experts. Whether you're buying or selling a home, let us develop a winning game plan for you.
Hometown Realty is East Tennessee's #1 real estate group and a proud sponsor of the Vols.
I'm Ryan Coleman with Hometown Realty. The real estate market's changing every day. You need to know your home's value in today's market. Text your home address to 290-2290 for an instant, no obligation home evaluation. That's 865-290-2290. And remember, when you're ready to sell, we have a guaranteed sale program to get you in your next home stress-free. Trust your hometown experts. We've helped thousands of people just like you.
All right, we're back at it. Second half, Real Estate with Ryan. Thank you for tuning back in. We had a great show for you, and thank you for tuning in. Of course, it's a big day around here. It's our first home game. Football season is officially back, and it's go time. I'm not going to spend too much about it, but we're going to go right to our 60-second Vol update as we go. Drum roll, please. All right, you know it's game time. Vols are in action against Syracuse at 12 p.m. while we're probably on the air or right after the air. I know you may be occupied, but you'll catch Real Estate by Ryan on the rerun. It's all good. It's all good. First home game is officially September 6th, 3:30, Neyland. We're going to send you. I told everybody earlier, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share to our channel. We're going to send 2 lucky groups of fans, parking pass to the game. Our first game is against ETSU. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We're going to send you to the game, courtesy of Hometown Realty. And you know, hey, it's an exciting day. That's what we got. That's our news. Baseball's in full form. Let's see what else is going on here. They're back working. Basketball's back working. So Lady Vols were back working, practice. So a lot of things coming right around the corner. So much going on. Hey, it's a great time to be a Vol. That's all I got for the 60-second Vol update. Hometown Realty, proud sponsor of the Vols. Go Big Orange. So much going on in so limited time. So let's get back into it. Thank you for tuning in. And if there's anything in the world we can do to help you, and if you didn't catch it the first beginning, always give us a shout. We're easy to reach. 693-SOLD, easiest number in real estate. And happy Labor Day to everybody. If you didn't already get that notification from me, happy Labor Day from my team at Hometown Realty. It's an important weekend. Spend time with your family. Watch a little football. But most importantly, it's an important time for family time. And we hope you have an amazing weekend. Let's talk about what we came on the first half. We were talking about inventory. We're talking about the rise in inventory and how the market always rebounds. Just like 2008, the great financial reset, the housing downturns and sales dropped hard, but they came back. 2020, COVID, seems like they disappeared overnight. As the recent home sales have been a little sluggish, affordability mortgage rates rose at record-breaking pace. In 2022, home prices were climbing at the same time. The combination of buyers were pulling out for many reasons. The demand slows down. But there's an encouraging part of sales that are expected to move in about 2026. Last year, about 4 million homes were sold, very similar to this year, but Fannie Mae is expecting closer to the 4.6 in 2026. So all signs are go for end of this year, moving into 2026. I don't think it's a surprise that a lot of that comes into the interest rates. Adjustments going to be made in the housing market. Will that happen? You know, like we said last week, you never really know what's going to happen. You have to anticipate where we are today and know the rates are better today than what we've seen for over a year. So opportunity will be here. A lot of news in the real estate market, a lot of news in the stock market, housing market, and then tax code. A lot of things changing as we go towards the end of the year. Everybody's heard the president talk about the big, beautiful bill and not really know what that means or doesn't mean. But we're going to talk about it, cover it, and what it means for you in real estate. If you're a real estate investor, maybe you bought something here recently. Maybe you say, well, I haven't bought something, now I'm going to tune out. No. You can go back, make sure you tune in, watch this. Property that you bought in the past might be doing a look back. We'll talk about that. If you're buying a Smoky Mountain retreat, a cabin, right? Something that you're looking for an investment in the Smokies. Great opportunity for a short-term rental or a tax benefit saving there. It's going to be for you. Just buying a property here, coming from some of our states where the taxes and the SALT exemptions were there are so high or so low, those have been changed as well. So we'll dive into it. What does bonus depreciation and how does it affect our real estate investors in today's market? It's really a game changer. And what does it mean for you as an owner, purchaser, or if you're thinking about investing, why this is important to know. So bonus depreciation, what does it mean? It's is tied into cost segregation. And if you don't know what cost segregation is, I won't spend a whole lot of time boring you with it, but basically a property depreciates over the years. And a cost segregation is done by professionals, engineers, where they take a value to, let's say they take a value to the sidewalks, or they take a value to the flooring or cabinets. Let's say you have a multifamily building, then they go in and they break down that these, let's say the cabinets or flooring, they're going to depreciate in value at a time. We just dealt with an insurance deal, and you better believe that, yes, if you think you're in good hands, no offense, but you might not be, right? And so you may depreciate, right? You may depreciate flooring. I see that, right? And so what you think that flooring is worth, it depreciates over the year. So just like insurance companies or over time, that values go down. So they take that depreciation, and it's an opportunity for an investor, right, to lower your tax burden. So a cost segregation takes all that depreciation and puts it together in numbers. And then that cost segregation allows you to come up with the bonus depreciation. So trying to go too far into that, but bonus depreciation means you take all your depreciation and you can force it together in 1 year. So over the previous years, those depreciations were at 100%. The Biden administration phased it out 60%, 40%. So this year was close to being phased out. So, that number would only be 30, 40% gain. Now it's come back at 100%. And why it's important, at a current 60% bonus depreciation, if you bought a $5 million property, you may generate $1.2 million in your first deductions. Under the permanent 100% bonus depreciation, you will receive another $800,000. That's $296,000 to the good, thanks to this big, beautiful bill, if you purchase that property. So you'll do 100% bonus depreciation. Very, very important. What else was in this bill? Business interest limitations return. What passed is depreciation and amortization expenses will no longer count against business interest deductions. Highly leveraged real estate investors can now deduct more interest while taking advantage of the cost segregation. This creates a powerful double benefit, accelerated with depreciation plus expanded interest deductions. So for an example, you got a $10 million property, 65% debt, could mean another additional $150,000 to $250,000 in interest deductible annually. SALT, you know what those are, your taxes. Some of those areas for taxes and things like that were capped. They were about $10,000. Now the SALT deduction, places like New York, California, are at $40,000. And this is really big. Estate tax. You have a loved one passed away or a family member. Estate tax has increased to $15 million, and that's up a little bit from the $13.61 million. So that's helping. What else will affect? Manufacturing facilities. So we see a lot of work going on here in West Knoxville. I'm just seeing metal buildings, manufacturing all over the place. So qualified production, property placed in service, January 1, 2033, creates extraordinary opportunity for manufacturing facility owners. So anything before that service date, 100% deductible. Big time deductions. Won't get into all that. Short-term rentals, big time in the Smokies. Short-term rentals are already benefited from material participation. But now they're able to take active losses against the ordinary income and then adding a permanent 100% bonus depreciation, which supercharges the strategy. Always going to encourage you to get with your CPA or your tax professional. But a bonus depreciation, let's just say a cabin in the Smokies, about $750, which is about moderate for now, could, with this 100% bonus depreciation, could be another $150,000 first year deduction. I mean, it's big time. And so what you're taking those deductions and applying to your income that you're working with. Multifamily could see a gain. Properties you only own. I want to talk about this before we get off the show. If you bought a property in the last year or two, complete a planned cost segregation. Consider a look-back study. Some of the properties, maybe you've done one, you can go back in the recent years, and they've not done one. You have opportunities to do one. Now, everybody says cost segregation, they're so expensive. No, they're not. Do your homework or reach out to my office. I'll be glad to give you one. We've done 3 or 4 of them. Very reasonable. And, of course, any acquisitions before January 19, 2025 benefit for this cost segregation bonus depreciation. This bill represents the most significant tax victory for real estate investors in the last few years. So hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you guys having an amazing weekend. Hope that was helpful. Look forward to seeing you back next weekend with Real Estate with Ryan. Go Vols. Have an amazing weekend.